Angela Carini abandons Olympic fight after 46 seconds against Imane Khelif. What happened? The Italian boxer, Angela Carini, broke down in tears after she abandoned her bout against the Algerian Imane Khelif after 46 seconds in a fight that sparked huge controversy at the Olympics. Khelif is one of two boxers permitted to fight at the Olympics despite being disqualified from the Women's World Championships last year for failing gender eligibility tests. In highly charged scenes at the North Paris Arena, a first punch from Khelif dislodged Carini's chin strap, and a second smashed against her chin and bloodied her shorts. After multiple punches, Carini returned to her corner and raised her hand. She fell to her knees, sobbing, and refused to shake Khelif's hand after the Algerian was declared the winner. Carini said she had pulled out after being hit harder than she had ever been hit and feared her nose was broken. "I am heartbroken," Carini said. "I went to the ring to honor my father. I was told a lot of times that I was a warrior, but I preferred to stop for my health. I have never felt a punch like this." Carini said it was not up to me to judge whether Khelif should have been barred from the competition. "I did my job." Khelif stopped briefly to speak to the BBC. "I'm here for gold," the Algerian said. "I will fight anybody, I will fight them all." Reem Al-Salam, the UN Special Rapporteur on violence against women and girls, expressed her concern about what had happened. Angela Carini rightly followed her instincts and prioritized her physical safety, but she and other female athletes should not have been exposed to this physical and psychological violence based on their sex, she tweeted. Giorgia Meloni, the Italian Prime Minister, weighed in saying, "I think that athletes who have male genetic characteristics should not be admitted to women's competitions. From my point of view, it was not an even contest." Before the fight, the International Olympic Committee, IOC, came under fire for permitting Khelif and Lin Yu-ting of Taiwan to compete in the women's category at these games. Lin is due to face Uzbekistan's Sitora Turdibekova in a featherweight bout in Paris on Friday. However, concerns have been raised among the boxing and wider sporting community. On Wednesday, Australia's boxing captain Caitlin Parker expressed her fears that one of her teammates is fighting in the same 66-kilogram weight category as Khelif. "I don't agree with them being allowed to compete in sport, especially combat sports," Parker said. "It can be incredibly dangerous." Agence France-Presse reported that Khelif claimed to be the victim of a big conspiracy after being disqualified just before the final at last year's World Championships. The Algerian Olympic Committee, COA, said on Wednesday it strongly condemns the unethical targeting and maligning of our esteemed athlete, Imane Khelif, with baseless propaganda from certain foreign media outlets, adding, "Such attacks on her personality and dignity are deeply unfair, especially as she prepares for the pinnacle of her career at the Olympics. The COA has taken all necessary measures to protect our champion." Luca Anna Hamori, a Hungarian boxer who is due to face Khelif in the next round, said she was prepared. "I will go to the ring and I will get my win. I trust my coaches and I trust myself." The International Olympic Committee has defended its decision to allow two boxers who failed testosterone and gender eligibility tests at the 2023 World Championships to compete in Paris. The Italian Prime Minister has reported that testosterone is not the perfect test and the race is not fair. But the International Olympic Committee defends allowing boxers who failed gender tests to compete at Paris 2024. The International Olympic Committee has defended its decision to allow two boxers who failed testosterone and gender eligibility tests at the 2023 World Championships to compete in Paris. Imane Khelif of Algeria and Lin Yu-ting of Chinese Taipei, also known as Taiwan, were disqualified from the 2023 Women's World Championships. The International Boxing Association president Umar Kremlev stated that DNA tests had proved they had XY chromosomes and were thus excluded. The IBA mentioned that it had made the decision following a comprehensive review and was intended to uphold the fairness and integrity of the competition. However, the IBA is not running the Olympic boxing competition in Paris. The IOC has confirmed it is happy for both fighters to compete under the less strict gender eligibility rules that were in place for the Tokyo Games in 2021. "Obviously, I'm not going to comment on individuals," the IOC spokesperson Mark Adams said. "That's really invidious and unfair. But I would just say that everyone competing in the women's category is complying with the competition eligibility rules. They are women in their passports, and it is stated that is the case." The former world champion Barry McGuigan has been one of many people to express his unease about the decision, calling it shocking. Adams conceded that rules regarding who should compete in the female category were complex, especially when it came to those who had undergone male puberty, but said it should be up to each sport to make a decision rather than the IOC. As for the question about testosterone and going through male puberty, we issued a framework document to all the federations, he said, and everyone would love to have a single answer, yes, no, but it's incredibly complex. And actually it boils down to not just sport by sport, but discipline by discipline. So people may have an advantage in this discipline and not in this discipline if they have been through male puberty or not. Adams added the IOC's position was for sports to try to balance fairness in female sport with inclusivity. Federations need to make the rules to make sure that there is fairness, but at the same time with the ability for everyone to take part who wants to, he said. That's a difficult balance. In the end, it's up to the experts for each discipline. They know very well where there is an advantage, and if that is a big advantage, then that is clearly not acceptable. But that decision needs to be made at that level. Not long after, Riley Gaines, a 12-time All-American and former collegiate swimmer at Kentucky, who describes herself as a leader defending women's single-sex spaces, posted on X, "Men don't belong in women's sports # I stand with Angela Carini." Elon Musk then agreed with her in a post on his X platform. "Absolutely," Musk wrote in a repost of Gaines's initial message. "What do you think? Are you with the Italian boxer or with the IOC that defends the boxers that failed in the gender eligibility tests? Write it down in the comments. Stay tuned for more updates and in-depth analysis on this and other pressing topics. And don't forget to subscribe to Infinite News and Stories for the latest updates and stories that matter. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.